Wake County's Water Quality Division works to ensure that all of the water resources in Wake County are healthy and sustainable, and that surface waters are not contaminated. This comprehensive approach helps ensure the quality of life enjoyed and shared by all citizens of Wake County. The groundwater section, which provides well testing, has seen an increase in the number of requests for services as the result of several wells within the county testing positive for contaminants in the late summer of 2012. Greg Bright supervises the Groundwater Program.
One of the most frequent questions we get is, how often should I have my well tested? And the general advice is to have your well tested once a year for bacteria. Approximately every 5 or 6 years you should test for inorganics, which is a test for metals and minerals that you find in your water. And the new thinking is to test every couple of years for volatile organics. Now, we also advise customers when something changes with their water quality. Maybe they start to see a different color in the water, maybe the taste changes or they smell an odor. Obviously, that's a good time to have you that work in the county. If you choose to go through Wake County to have your water tested, there's a couple of options within Wake County. There's a couple of tests, the bacteria and the inorganic test that I spoke of. A customer can self-collect those tests by getting the kits from either Human Services or one of the regional centers. Or we can come out and collect that test for an additional charge of $50. A couple of samples that you can choose to self-collect, one being a bacteriological and one being an inorganic. Now the bacteriological bottle is going to look like this, and before you collect the sample, the instructions that you're going to receive from the lab is going to ask you to disinfect the strainer or the faucet. So if you can unscrew the faucet strainer, just take a cotton swab that you've poured alcohol on, or an alcohol wipe, and basically sanitize the outside of the faucet. Then the instructions are going to ask you to let the water run for approximately 5 minutes. The purpose of this, running the water for 5 minutes, is to allow the water to flow out of the lines and actually get a representative sample of what the water is like in the well. You want to remove the cap carefully. Carefully place the container under the water. And the important thing is to make sure that you fill the container completely. That's for the lab to properly analyze the sample. Now, the other test we mentioned was an inorganic analysis, and you should be getting 2 of these containers from the lab to process all the different type testing they need to do. So I like to rinse this container out at least once or twice and fill this bottle all the way to the top as well. Once you've got them filled, cap them securely, and pay attention to the custody sheet that's going to be provided with you. You'll need to fill this out completely, and there are instructions on the back of the sheet which tell you how to collect the samples, and also instructions on delivering the samples to the laboratory. And bring them back to the Human Services lab and they will process them. But once the test is submitted to the laboratory, depending on the type of test, it's either processed by the Human Services laboratory here at Wake County, or it's shipped over to the State Laboratory of Public Health for analysis. If the results come back indicating there's contamination, let's take it by sample type. For example, a bacteriological analysis may indicate total or fecal coliform present. We're going to recommend to the customer to have that well chlorinated, disinfected using a chlorine product. And there are instructions on our website of how to do that. Also, you could contract with a well contractor. Now, for the volatile organics and the inorganics, if we see a level of a constituent that's above the safe limit recommended by EPA, we will refer those results to the state toxicologist who works with the Division of Health and Human Services. The toxicologist will perform a health risk evaluation, and we will forward that to the customer. And if the level is high enough, he may determine that water is not safe for drinking. Just like having an annual physical or having your car tuned up, your well needs to be tested occasionally just to make sure that the water from that well is safe to drink.